Yeah, we back with another interesting video. Now, the other day, man, I dropped a classic. Take a look up on the screen. It's entitled The American Invasion of Haiti, The Untold Story from 1915. And in that video, man, we discussed the real facts behind the American invasion and occupation of Haiti that took place from 1915 to 1934. Not that BS sanitized history they decided to rewrite. We gave you the real deal facts. Go check that video out after this one. But today's video is going to be a follow-up to that one. We're going to dive in greater detail about somebody that I briefly mentioned in the last video. In case you need me to jog your memory, I'm going to play the footage and I'll be right back. Let's go. Now, take a look up on the screen. You see the good brother, the ancestor, General Anténor Firmin, one of my favorite ancestors. He was the Minister of Finance, Commerce, and Foreign Affairs. He was the one that told the United States government, nigga, suck my dick. Fuck out of here with your United States Navy, nigga. Fuck you, bitch ass motherfucker. Yeah, shout out to Anténor Firmin. You know what I mean? Big dog, big boss, big general, big chief. That's my guy right there, man. That's my dog. Now let's get into it. I'm pretty sure you never heard of Anténor Firmin. I'm not surprised. They never gonna teach you about black men like this in school. But let's get into it, man. Take a look up on the screen. Joseph August Anténor Firmin was born on the 18th of October 1850, passed away on the 19th of September 1911. He was a Haitian barrister, aka he was a lawyer, and a philosopher, pioneering anthropologist, a journalist, and a politician. Firmin is best known for his book on the equality of the human races, which was published in 1885 as a rebuttal to the French writer Arthur de Gobineau, his book, The Essay on the Inequality of the Human Races. Now hold up, let's discuss that. That's extremely important. Anténor Firmin's book, which came out in the 1880s, was a response to a book written by a wealthy French white supremacist by the name of Arthur de Gobineau, which came out in the 1850s. His book was called The Inequality of the Human Races. Take a look up on the screen. Joseph Arthur de Gobineau was a French aristocrat who was best known for helping to legitimize racism by the use of scientific racist theory and racial demography, and for developing the theory of the Aryan master race. Now let's take a look at his book. The Essay on the Inequality of the Human Races is a racist and pseudoscientific work of French writer Joseph Arthur Comte de Gobineau, which argues that there are intellectual differences between human races, that civilizations decline and fall when the races are mixed, and that the white race is superior. It is today considered to be one of the earliest examples of scientific racialism. Now, a lot of black people in the modern day might not understand why our global reputation is in the garbage can. Well, in the early 19th century, in the early to mid 19th century, all throughout that entire century, a bunch of white boys were putting out books distributed all over the world, convincing the entire world that black people ain't worth shit. Okay? And this dude right here was just one of many. Just one of many, all right? Just one of many. He came from France, but they were doing it in England, they were doing it in Spain, they were doing it in Portugal, they were doing it in the United States. All over the world, white boys were convincing the world black people ain't worth shit. So the good brother Anténor Firmin put out his own book, The Equality of the Human Races. You know how rappers put out diss tracks? Well, guess what? Anténor Firmin had to put out a response to Arthur de Gobineau. You know what I'm saying? He was talking all that shit. So we had to put out our own book. We had to let them white boys know what's up, man. You already know. Now let's get into it. Gobineau's writings were quickly praised by white supremacist pro-slavery Americans like Josiah Nott and Henry Hotz, who translated his book into English. They omitted around 1,000 pages of the original book, including those parts that negatively described Americans as a racially mixed population. Joseph August Anténor Firmin was born as the third generation of post-independent Haiti in a working-class family. Firmin advanced quickly at his studies and started teaching when he was 17. He studied accounting and law. He was close to the Liberal Party and started the newspaper, The Messenger from the North. Hey man, for those of y'all who watched my video, The American Invasion of Haiti, The Untold Story, y'all know what I told you about them Northside boys, man. It's something about them Northside boys, man. They just different, man. They just different. Now let's get into it. The political turmoil surrounding the new government of General Solomon forced him into exile in Paris, where he served as a diplomat. During this time, he was admitted to the Anthropology Society of Paris, where he began writing The Equality of the Human Races. Firmin attended meetings of the society as a regular member, but he was silenced by a racialist physical anthropology dominant at the time and due to racism. The transcripts of the society's deliberations included in the memoirs show that Firmin rose to speak only twice, and on both occasions he was silenced by racialist or racist comments. Bro, you already know, them white boys in Paris wasn't trying to hear nothing that Anténor Firmin had to say. Fuck them though. Anyways, let's continue. Anténor Firmin's major work, The Equality of the Human Races, was published in Paris in 1885. Its importance was unrecognized for several decades. The recovered text was translated by Haitian scholar Asselin Charles in 2000, 115 years after its original publication. Today, he is considered one of the most important contributors to anthropology. Yes, brothers, that's why I said he's one of my favorite ancestors. That's why I was bigging him up in the last video like that. It wasn't only because he told them white boys back in Washington, nigga, fuck out my face. I mean, that was part of it. That was a big part of it. You know what I mean? He told them white boys, nigga, fuck out of here, bitch. But besides that, he contributed to repairing the image of the black man that them white boys was destroying throughout the entire 1800s, bro. Them white boys put out a bunch of pseudoscientific racist bullshit books that we now debunked decades and centuries later. We realized they were just talking a bunch of bullshit. But Anténor Firmin, before social media, before all the media we have today, he gave them white boys a response to all that propaganda they were putting out into the atmosphere. And for that alone, we got to give praise to the ancestor, man, because he understood the importance of our image as a people. And he wasn't going to sit back and let them white boys destroy our image as a people. And over a century later, history has rewarded him with the praise and the honor, because all them books written by them white boys, they dumped them in the trash. They said, nigga, that was bunk. That was bullshit. Fuck out of here. But they say he was one of the greatest contributors to anthropology. And all them books written by them Europeans, all classified as garbage in the modern day. At the end of the day, history is going to reward those who are honorable. And all the scumbags, nigga, we going to dump you in the dirt, bitch. Now, let's get back into it. Firmin pioneered the integration of race and physical anthropology, and may be the first black anthropologist. His work was recognized not only in Haiti, but also among African scholars as an early work of negritude. He influenced Jean-Pierre Mas, the founder of Haitian ethnology, and on American anthropologist Melville Herskovits. In his best-known work, The Equality of the Human Races, published in 1885, Firmin tackles two bases of existing theories on black inferiority in an effort to critique Gobineau's The Inequality of the Human Races. On the one hand, Firmin challenges the idea of brain size or cephalic index as a measure of human intelligence, and on the other, he reasserts the presence of African blacks in Pharaonic Egypt. He then delves into the significance of the Haitian Revolution of 1804. Now hold up, yes, way before y'all boys was getting on YouTube talking about Kemet and the pyramids in Egypt, and talking about Pharaoh Narmer, and talking about Pharaoh Amos, and talking about Pharaoh Thutmose, and talking about Taharka and Pianki, and talking about Shabaka, and talking about Tantamani. Yes, Anténor Firmin back in 1885, he was talking about all that Kemet, all that shit y'all talking about on YouTube right now. All y'all new Hotep hustlers. Nah, listen, before Dr. Umar, before Young Pharaoh, before Brother Polite, before all y'all boys, before Tariq Nasheed, before y'all boys getting on YouTube trying to sell history for a profit. Nah, listen. Anténor Firmin was y'all daddy's daddy. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say he y'all daddy, but he's y'all daddy's daddy. You know what I mean? Way before y'all boys was trying to hustle this shit like a scam, like a grift, Anténor Firmin was talking about this shit back in the 1880s, bruh. Talking all this Pharaoh, Kemet, Egypt. We was up in Egypt. Yes, way back then. Yes. He's a godfather of this shit. Now, let's get back into it. Firmin is one of three Caribbean men who launched the idea of Pan-Africanism at the end of the 19th century to combat colonialism in Africa. As a candidate in Haiti's 1902 presidential elections, he declared that the Haitian state should serve in the rehabilitation of Africa. Along with Trinidadian lawyer Henry Sylvester Williams and fellow Haitian Benito Sylvain, he was the organizer of the first Pan-African Conference, which took place in London in 1900. That conference launched the Pan-Africanism movement. W.E.B. Du Bois attended the conference and was put in charge of drafting the general report. After the conference, 5 Pan-African Congresses were held in the 20th century, which eventually led to the creation of the African Union. Firmin was invested in the three main elements of Pan-Africanist thought: the rejection of the postulate of race inequality, the proof that Africans were capable of civilization, and examples of successful Africans producing knowledge in diverse fields. In looking to move away from the biological understanding of race, Firmin's scientific approach was informed by the idea of a black Egypt as the source of Greek civilization. Yes, way before y'all boys was telling the white boys, nigga, you was up in the caves, nigga, we was up in Egypt, nigga, you was up in the caves. Nigga, Anténor Firmin was telling them white boys that shit back in the late 1800s. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nigga, you was up in the caves, nigga. All that shit y'all be saying in the modern day, that shit is nothing new. Anténor Firmin was pulling up to Paris. He was telling them white boys, nigga, we taught you how to bathe, bitch ass nigga. Now, let's get back into it. In 1888, Firmin returned to Haiti. In 1881, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, together with Frederick Douglass, staved off the United States claims to the Mont Saint-Nicolas region of Haiti. That's what I had mentioned in the last video when I said that he told the United States government, nigga, suck my dick. Fuck out of here. Now, let's continue. Seen as a threat to the government in Haiti because of his political activism, Firmin was appointed as Minister to Paris before briefly returning in 1902 as the head of an unsuccessful Firminist revolt that looked to make substantial reforms to Haiti's institutional and financial infrastructure. Firmin was exiled to St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where he continued his work in the Caribbean issues more broadly, before a second and final Firminist revolt took place in Haiti. Firmin set out for Haiti to again lead the revolt, but he was crushed, and he was forced to return to St. Thomas, where he died only a few weeks later on September 19th, 1911, at the age of 61. And as you already know, 4 years later in 1915, the United States government would invade and occupy the country. Now, in that paragraph, it mentioned Frederick Douglass. In case you didn't know, take a look up on the screen. Yes, Frederick Douglass was the United States Minister Resident to Haiti. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was partners with Anténor Firmin, and together they both told the United States, nigga, fuck out of here, bitch. This the black man's land, pussy. You ain't putting no naval base nowhere, nigga. Fuck out of here. Like I said, man, our ancestors were 10 times more of the men that we are today, right? They were more intelligent. They were more honorable. They were more dignified. They were more courageous. They walked around with their head up high, their shoulders back, and their chest out. You know what I mean? And they understood the importance of unity and cohesion. And most importantly, they understood who the adversary was, and they operated as such. Now, anyways, man, it's your boy Nevercard Desaline back in the Billy. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in that ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart to be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.